Graduates and guests, today's graduation ceremony is about to begin. Swinburne University of Technology Chancellor, Professor John Pollaers, OAM, will preside over the ceremony. Professor Pollaers will be preceded into the hall by Mr. Decith Tanuja de Silva, the mace bearer. The mace is the symbol of institutional authority and is carried as a symbolic weapon of protection. The Chancellor and mace bearer are members of the official party who will be escorted into the hall by the academic procession. The academic procession is about to enter the hall. Would you please stand?
Please remain standing for the national anthem. The words are printed on page 1 of the ceremony program and will be displayed on the screen. Please be seated. It now gives me great pleasure to invite Uncle Bill Nicholson, Wurundjeri Elder, to deliver Welcome to Country.
Good morning to everyone. First of all, I'd just like to congratulate all the graduates here this morning on such a special occasion for yourselves. I'm here to do the Welcome to Country, to talk a little bit about the culture of the land that you're graduating on today. To me, the basis of any culture, and looking through the audience this morning, many different cultures are represented just here today, to me is language. The language is how we learn everything, it's how we express everything. In our case, in 1863, our language was taken from us. It's called Woi Warang. We're trying to bring it back as part of our healing and our reconnection to our very special culture. I'd like to start off the Welcome to Country in the language of this land. Wiminjika, Kamamala Mangil, Banambun Yalanbu, Waranjeri Balak, Nirinamarambik, Bill Nicholson. Welcome and greetings. Good day from the Wurundjeri people. My name is Uncle Bill Nicholson. I stand here proudly as from a long line of staunch, strong leaders that have cared for this land and the community for thousands of years. In the modern context, we call our leaders elders. I'd like to extend my acknowledgement actually to my elders past and for my identity, for my culture and my family's survival. Just to give you a little bit of an insight, hopefully to make them maybe real in your mind, I'll name a couple of them. If you've ever been out in the eastern side of Melbourne or you live out that way, you might have heard of Wonga Park. That place is named after a very special, inspiring man named Simon Wonga. Wonga was our first land rights advocate, and he was the son of a man named Pollaers. If you've ever seen that very famous drawing of a man named John Batman meeting the Aborigines, that Aboriginal man there is Pollaers. The predecessor of Simon Wonga is a man named William Barrack. He's actually on a 30-storey building up the end of Swanson Street, his face is anyway. He's a very inspiring man, and he was our first human rights advocate. So if you ever want to, I guess, connect and learn a little bit about the Wurundjeri people, those two particular individuals are a great starting point. I'd also like to acknowledge our fallen tribes or clans. Unfortunately, the people of the Maribyrnong catchment are no longer with us. So I'd like to acknowledge each and every one of men, women and children who cared for this land for the tens of thousands of years, just like Wurundjeri did. And I'd also like to extend my acknowledgement to cultural leaders of today, of all cultures. If you're proud of who you are, if you're proud of your identity and you love to share it, I'd like to acknowledge you all, and of all age groups. So the Wurundjeri Willam, that's our tribal name. We're the people of the Birrarung or the Barang or the Yarra River, as you would know it today. We're the sole surviving sovereign clan of this place. And basically what that means from a cultural perspective is my ancestors never handed over their authority or their inheritance to care for the land and to look after each other. I'd like you to keep that in mind actually, because it's something very important when it comes to Welcome to Country. In our stories, our Creator's name is Bunjil. He gave us the land to care for, He gave us life to enjoy and the laws to live by, creating a very efficient culture, a very knowledgeable culture, a very fit and healthy culture. And the responsibility that I touched on earlier was something taught to young children for thousands of years of our connection to this sacred land. That responsibility of the health of country is very much reliant on each individual and the mutual respect of one another and looking after one another. I'd like to extend that to everyone here listening this morning. As Aboriginal people are only about 3% of the Australian population, we really need non-Indigenous people to understand we all have a responsibility to the land if we want to live a sustainable future into the future. So, the words colonisation, no doubt you've heard of, but I'm an educator, so I like to give different perspectives. Colonisation or invasion, settlement or unsettlement, depending on your upbringing, depending on your education, depending on where you may have grew up. But these particular times were tough on us, and that's putting it nicely. The one great frustration for me is we were not allowed to be part of the economy that was imposed on our land. That excluded us from many things. And unfortunately today, a lot of our communities still suffer the traumas of this time. I'd just like people to understand from the past. We're here in an educated audience. Let's learn from the past. Let's never treat anyone unequally like that again. And let's move towards what we call in language, Jindi Warrabak, which I guess broadly means reconciliation or unity in the Australian community today. I'll just finish off and actually explain what a welcome to country actually is. It's like a passport. It gives you access to someone's land to conduct your business. In our case, it was a ceremony we called Kandaram Naji. We would offer you vegetation to symbolise your access to our sacred resources, our plant, animal and our water. The snapping of the reed spear would mean that no one would harm you. We would sip water and offer it to you out of a tarnuk, which is a wooden bowl. That's a trust and respect symbol. And then we get you to walk through the smoke of burning leaves. That's a spiritual cleansing symbol of the individual and of the ceremony ground itself. Now, no fires will be lit for you this morning, but I'd just like to say to feel truly welcome to Wurundjeri land. Respect of people, country and culture is part of the law of this land. By Swinburne inviting me here to do a welcome for you fellas on a special occasion like this, I feel respect from the institution. So on behalf of my ancestors and my community and myself, Wiminjika Wurundjeri Beek, welcome to Wurundjeri country. You have a great morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Uncle Bill Nicholson. My name is Alex Stachevsky, Dean of the School of Science, Computing and Engineering Technologies. I'd like to welcome you all to this graduation ceremony. This is one of 7 ceremonies the university is holding this week for more than 2,000 Swinburne graduates. It is now my pleasure to introduce the people who are on stage today. Seated at the centre of the stage is Professor John Pollaers, OAM Chancellor, who will preside over the ceremony. Chancellor is joined today by Professor Pascal Cuesta, Vice-Chancellor and President of Swinburne University of Technology. Dr. Andrew J. Smith, Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Global and Community Engagement. Professor Enzo Palumbo, Associate Dean of Research. Professor Ajay Kapur, being awarded the title of Emeritus Professor at today's ceremony. Ms. Jacqueline Savage, Alumni Impact Award finalist, delivering a special address to our graduates today. The other staff seated on stage are academics and professional staff who have played a large part in the success of today's graduates. It now gives me great pleasure to invite Professor John Pollaers, OAM Chancellor of Swinburne University of Technology, to formally open proceedings.
Well, I'd like to thank Uncle Bill for his very wise words. Land, life, laws, settlement, unsettlement, colonisation, or take over the land. These are the kinds of questions that we like to think about and ponder as a university. Vice-Chancellor, members of staff, distinguished guests, friends, family, and of course, our wonderful graduates. On behalf of Swinburne University of Technology, it's my great pleasure to welcome you all to this graduation ceremony. Given the events of the last 2 years, we're thrilled we can hold this ceremony in person and thrilled that we're able to welcome your friends and your family members to celebrate with our graduating students. For you, our newest Swinburne graduates, today's ceremony acknowledges your academic and research achievements. It also represents a significant milestone in your lifelong journey of learning. We know this is the accumulation of many years of study, of hard work, of personal growth, of achievement. For parents, family, and friends, we also recognise that this celebration is an important recognition of all of the support you've provided each and every day along the way. So today is an opportunity to publicly acknowledge and celebrate this shared experience together. Swinburne's council and staff sincerely congratulate all of the graduating students on the achievement of your qualifications. A graduation is always a milestone celebration, but for this year's graduating cohort, this represents an experience like no other. Never before have students had to experience something quite as extraordinary as the pandemic. And of course, as a university, we had to transition all of our teaching online as a result. Through lockdowns, interactions with both your peers and your teachers was only at a distance, through emails, through webinars, and through the lens of a Zoom or a Teams meeting. Many of you also had to complete your work placements online. Yet somehow the distance between us became closer, and as a community we have become stronger. You all showed an exceptional resilience and gained skills that will set you up for the future. And as difficult and as stressful as it was at times, know that this will help you to prepare for the challenges and the opportunities tomorrow. I'm truly energised each time we have a graduation ceremony to just see the talent that's about to be unleashed and the impact that you can each have on the world. For everyone here at Swinburne, there is enormous satisfaction in seeing our students successfully complete their studies. We pride ourselves on the quality of and excellence of our teaching, of our learning, and of our research. And as a university ranked in the top 2% in the world, we know that Swinburne credentials will open many doors for you. At Swinburne, we've grown and also learnt through the pandemic. We've witnessed how technology can help society in a way that nothing else could. And in considering our own future, we have reimagined our vision, which is to bring people and technology together to create a better world. At our heart, we are a technology university. It's in our DNA, and we are very proud of it. But we also know that technology means very little to people if it cannot be leveraged in achieving goals and improving life. We also know that technology and society is always evolving and always changing. This is why we are committed to continually grow and upgrade our offerings, and why we think we can be the place where you can always find the next gen now. Our strategic plan sets out this vision, and we are proud to be the sort of university the future expects. In fact, the sort of university the future demands. Whatever industry or sector you engage in, your Swinburne qualification will hold you in good stead. Swinburne wants to be your education partner always. You are one of us. You are one of us now, and you will always be one of us. We look forward to watching you as you develop over the years and as you succeed in those years to come. There will be obstacles along the way. Of that, I have no doubt. But I also am confident that you'll be able to draw on your strength and display the type of creative problem solving in overcoming those challenges as they arise. When confronted with the need to acquire new skills and to grow further, we hope that you will return to us so that we can ensure you have what you need to succeed. On behalf of us all, we want to thank you for trusting Swinburne to contribute to your education, and deeply thank you for enriching our community through that process. I now call upon Professor Pascal Cuesta, Vice-Chancellor and President of Swinburne University of Technology, to introduce the next part of the proceedings. Thank you.
It now gives me great pleasure to invite our special guest, Ms. Jacqueline Savage, to deliver an address to our graduates. Ms. Savage is the founder and CEO of MedCorp Technologies, an Australian medical device company dedicated to improving the healthcare industry through technology and innovation, developing products for global distribution. Jacqueline was also recognized as the Swinburne 2021 Alumni Impact Award, where she was a winner in the Technology Impact category. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Jacqueline Savage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you very much for the kind introduction. I have to say, it is an absolute honour to be here today, and I think I speak on behalf of everybody here that we all are just tremendously proud of you, and you should be proud of your achievements today. I've been asked to talk today about my journey and how studying engineering at Swinburne University has impacted my career. But the reality is, I never actually wanted to go to university. I didn't believe that I was actually smart enough, or that school was actually for me. It shocks a lot of people when I say this now, but when I was growing up, I found myself really struggling with schoolwork. The way I learned was certainly not in line with conventional methods of teaching. I couldn't help but compare myself to other students who kept up in class and maintained really great grades. But as a result, I had this little voice in my head that formed at a young age that told me that I wasn't smart. And in fact, I was stupid. Upon selecting my Year 11 and Year 12 subjects, I went and visited the school career advisor, hoping that they would provide me with some oracle of inspiration for my future that didn't involve more education or school. I was told that I should explore studying architecture and engineering. I was not impressed. My father was a naval architect and an engineer, and as a stubborn adolescent, there was no way I was going to be like him. It was obvious to everybody around me that my resistance was a result of a stereotype I had about engineers, and consequently, my mother introduced me to some of my siblings' friends who were studying engineering at the time to help shift this. I ended up sneaking into a few lectures, sorry about that one, with a couple of my sister's friends. And there was one engineering course that I attended which really caught my attention, and that course was Product Design Engineering at Swinburne University. I distinctly remember that class today. It was the first time that I immediately got it. It was the way it was being taught in terms of presenting fundamental physics principles and then them being applied to a practical design project. I remember feeling an overwhelming sense of confidence and understanding, as this is how I learned. 6 months later, I found myself enrolled in university and starting my first year of engineering at Swinburne. And boy, was that first year fun. In my second year of university, a close friend of mine passed away from cancer quite abruptly. I felt that the healthcare system in this moment had really let her down, and that if more sophisticated monitoring technologies were used, that she would still be with us today. I felt compelled to do something about this, and as an engineering student, I was already starting to think of potential solutions. Over the years that followed, I continued to develop a piece of technology whilst completing my Bachelor of Engineering, and I never thought that that would turn into a company that it is today. I was just focused on developing a solution to a problem that I saw my friend had. Upon graduating university and securing my first job, full-time job in industry, I continued to develop this piece of tech. I had a lot of people around me telling me to focus on my career as an engineer and to not get distracted with this side project, that it takes people 10 to 15 years experience and a business degree to commercialise technologies and build companies, that there was no way somebody of my age with my skill set could set out to what I was trying to achieve. But I was determined. And needless to say, I didn't really listen to them. And after a few years working in industry, I resigned from my job and took that leap of faith to start my own company. Many called this career suicide, but at the age of 26 years old, I felt that I had nothing to lose and that there was enough time left in my career to recover if I did in fact fail. And as a result, MedCorp now has grown into a digital health company which develops wearable technologies for the healthcare sector, where our platform piece of technology is a sensor that can non-invasively detect early signs of infections in at-risk patients such as my friend. In 2019, we successfully demonstrated for the first time in industry that our technology could measure core body temperature from the surface of the skin within clinical accuracy. This achievement wasn't just significant from an engineering and a science perspective, but a tremendous achievement for the business that could have very easily have failed or stopped along the way from a large amount of commercial obstacles we were facing. Obstacles such as funding, how to gain access to mentors and advisors, and as a fresh graduate, how to be taken seriously and attract the talent needed to build a business at the age of 26. University education gives you an incredible blueprint, and it is up to you to sculpt that blueprint to help navigate your career pathways. And only you can do that sculpting bit. It takes courage and the ability to trust and back yourself, but I truly believe that with perseverance and the willingness to continue to learn, everyone in this room can and will do the same. One of my favourite sayings is, "You can't be what you can't see." And when I was sitting in that seat that you are now at my graduation in this very room, I could not imagine that I would be where I am today. The spontaneity of life is truly great like that. Back in 2013, as I sat there in my cap and my gown, I thought that I would end up working for a company as a design engineer, most likely 3D CAD modelling on a computer 8 hours a day, designing products. Because from a very surface level view, that was in fact what I was being taught or had been taught at university. But what I didn't realise at the time was that the most fundamental skill that I had been taught wasn't thermofluid dynamics. It wasn't engineering materials and manufacturing processes. It was how to problem solve. And as an engineer, that's what I was, a professional problem solver. That's the blueprint I'm talking about. I used that exact blueprint to solve the problems I faced in business, allowing me to tackle obstacles in a very unique, often incredibly unconventional and outrageously creative ways, which I don't think I would have been able to do if I had in fact studied a commerce or business degree. Things like launching consumer infant product brands to fund medical technology research, or submitting business plans to an MBA application, which I had no intentions of actually doing, but I did it because I wanted feedback on the business plan. Or applying for a job at NASA with no intentions of actually working there, but I wanted to meet their lead engineer to help grow my network in the professional engineering field. It's amazing how creative you can be with solutions when you are equipped with the skills to identify the problem clearly. And that is what Swinburne University and studying engineering provided me, and I am incredibly grateful for that skill set. So on that, I encourage you all to leave here today with immense pride of what you have achieved and confidence that you too have the blueprint to continue to grow, learn, and sculpt your own career pathway, whatever that may be. Thank you and good luck.
Thank you very much, Jacqueline. This is what our graduates do. This is what Swinburne does. There is magic in this room. Thank you very much for being with us today. Chancellor, receiving admission to the title of Professor Emeritus in absentia is Professor Yosri Morsi. Accepting on Professor Morsi's behalf is his son, Dr. Yas Morsi. Professor Yosri Morsi is an internationally recognized leader in biomechanical engineering, using laser diagnostics technique to advance essential research in fluid flow, especially blood flow. He has made a lifelong contribution to Swinburne University of Technology, working at the university for nearly 3 decades, from 1992 to 2020. During his career at Swinburne, Professor Morsi held a range of senior positions in both teaching and research, and in developing and advancing industry collaborations. Professor Morsi was a critical part of the growth of the university's expertise in mechanical engineering, laying a foundation for our current strong reputation among students, industry, and the research community. Professor Morsi was instrumental in establishing tissue engineering and biomechanics laboratories at Swinburne, where he and his team design, develop, and optimized biocompatible and biodegradable materials and engineered tissues. Research conducted by Professor Morsi's group is ultimately aimed at the creation of living heart valves and arteries to replace the use of artificial heart valves and stents. The group successfully manufactured the first Australian tri-leaflet or aortic ship heart valve scaffold made from polyurethane using human stem cells. He is an international authority on tissue engineering and the biomechanical aspects of heart valves and arteries, and was invited by the Victorian government to organise an international conference on biomedical engineering in 2012. Swinburne recognises Professor Morsi's decades-long commitment to improving the lives of others through biomechanical engineering and the pioneering role that he has played at the university by conferring the award of Emeritus Professor. Chancellor, it is with great pleasure that in accordance with Swinburne University of Technology legislation, Professor Yosri Morsi is admitted in absentia to the title of Professor Emeritus. Chancellor, I call upon Professor A.J. Kapoor to present themselves for admission to the title of Professor Emeritus in recognition of their distinguished service to Swinburne in several executive leadership roles, both here and at our Sarawak campus, Malaysia. It is also an opportunity to acknowledge the significant research success and renowned status within the engineering discipline, specifically in the fields of electric vehicle, rolling contact fatigue, and mobility. Professor A.J. Kapoor is a world-renowned expert on rolling contact fatigues in railways. He obtained his bachelor and master degree in mechanical engineering from the Indian Institute of Technology, Banaras Hindu University, before moving to the UK to complete his PhD at Cambridge University in 1988. For the next 20 years, he held senior appointments at Newcastle University, University of Sheffield, and Leicester University before joining Swinburne University of Technology in 2007. At Swinburne, Professor Kapoor has served in several leadership roles, including as Deputy Dean, Faculty of Engineering and Industrial Sciences, and Dean of the School of Engineering. In 2016, he became Pro-Vice-Chancellor International Research Engagement and Development and significantly expanded Swinburne's international research engagement through joint research centers in India, China, and Malaysia. In his latest role as Pro-Vice-Chancellor Research at Swinburne's Sarawak campus, Professor Kapoor led international research engagement activities in India and Southeast Asia. Throughout his time at Swinburne, Professor Kapoor has achieved significant research success within the engineering discipline, more specifically with the work around electric vehicle and mobility. His research work has won many prizes in the UK and Australia, and is on the editorial board of IMEC-E, Journal of Rail and Rapid Transit. In 2009, he was awarded the Swinburne Vice-Chancellor's International Prize. Professor Kapoor has also led the American Society for Mechanical Engineers UK and Ireland chapter as chairman, and been on both the Swinburne University of Technology Council and Victorian Centre for Advanced Material Manufacturing, Australia board. Professor Kapoor's commitment and dedication to Swinburne has made a very significant impact. As Emeritus Professor, he will be able to continue to share his rich research experience and worldwide network to provide advice to Swinburne on strategic alliances with Indian partners. Chancellor, it is with great pleasure that in accordance with Swinburne University of Technology legislation, I present to you Professor A.J. Kapoor, admission to the title of Professor Emeritus. Chancellor, it is with pleasure that I now invite Professor A.J. Kapoor to say a few words on this special occasion.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, thank you very much for this very generous gesture. I'd like to thank my friends and family members who are here today, and I'll also like to welcome the Consul General of India, Mr. Raj, who is also with us today. Special thanks to my two son-in-laws and my two beautiful daughters who are also here, and my Rock My Foundation, my wife, Rashmi Kapoor. Now, I can see a lot of pride in their eyes, and thank you for that, for supporting me. I can also see the same pride in our graduates and in the family members who have accompanied them here. And why should they not be so proud? It takes a lot of very hard work to be invited to be a graduate. So my congratulations. I'll say be proud, be very proud. Soon, as a graduate, you will be within the top 6.7% of people in the world. And if you are getting a doctorate degree, within the top 0.5% of people in the world. We are very proud of your achievements. I was, when I was coming for this, reminiscing about my own life. I was thinking of what should I say to you. So a couple of things here. First, follow your passion. The journey of life is hard, requires a lot of work, and if it is in an area in which you are very passionate, it becomes fun. You don't get tired, you don't get bored. You should focus this work towards the societal good. If the society finds your work useful, you will be in demand. You'll be chased by many employers. Of course, some of you will like to go into higher education. Some may take a leadership role, be in sports, be in performing arts, starting a business, but you will be needed. And the society will reward you very well. Another suggestion? Develop 3 sets of skills. One is your professional area. Say if you are an electrical engineer, be a very good electrical engineer. If you are a computer scientist, become a very good computer scientist. Second is social skills. While you are trying to become useful to society, try to broaden your horizons. Become useful to the whole world. For this, you need to understand different cultures, different ways of looking at things. Once you do that, you find that your value goes up, your horizon becomes wider. And finally, remember that the life will have ups and they will have downs. There will be dark nights and there will be very bright, sunny days. Learn to manage yourself in both, remain equipoised. You may ask, how has this advice helped me personally? So I'll say very well. I started my life journey from a very modest start in a small place in India, went to one of the top engineering colleges in India, then to Cambridge University, and had a very successful career in education. But the journey has not stopped, it's continuing. I am now following my passion as a Vice Chancellor of Chinmaya Vishwavidyapeeth in India and trying to put these values into action there. My dream is that I pass on these values to every student that comes in contact with me. Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, you have put incredible amount of faith in me through this honor, and I promise that I'll live up to that expectation and connect Swinburne even better with India once I'm there. And I'd like to, before closing, say to our graduates, well done. Let's celebrate. Thank you.
Congratulations, AJ and Yosri, on such a wonderful recognition for a lifetime of achievement. And I'd also like to take note of Jacqueline's speech. It's always wonderful to see an alumni coming back who's having great impact on the world in the same way that each and every one of you can. Could I now please ask all of the graduates to stand? By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Council of Swinburne University of Technology, I admit you as graduates to the awards for which you have qualified and to the rights and privileges of those awards. Congratulations. Could I ask you now to be seated?
Chancellor, I have the honour to present to you School of Science, Computing and Engineering Technologies graduates on whom an award has been conferred.
For the Bachelor of Computer Science, Hussein. Zain Ali. Kavin Dulshan Almeida. Walid Al-Sayed Ahmed. Fadal Hussein Arastu. Lauren Fiona Atkins. Tyler J. Bruce Beaumont. Austin Batanga. James Boyd. Ying Chun Chun. Basil Jerry Christophus. Peter Clark. Daniel Cody. Dominic Bruno Codespotti. Andrew James Craig. Samuel Anthony Cross. Kirill Danilyuk. Reese Lyndon Fallon. Ruby May Galila. Ewan Peter Gilligan. Yu Wen Go. Christian Grant, Lee Guan, Jackson Hales, James Hassel, Ashan Lakshitha Fonseca Heva Vosikage, Nicholas Mark Hicks, Gaurav Kararia, Pulsokundreyan Sikut, Lachlan Clavens, Edward Ashley Knight, Apollost Lafazanis, William Lamb, Brian Yi Wen Law, Maisha Lohani, James Antonia Lozevsky, Hsing Yi Lu, Sarah Marion, Zachariah John Mackay, Connor Angus McMillan, Aidan McRae Mellor, Jean-Christian Balderrama Mendoza, Jason Minocha, Zeb Matthew Muller, Mustafa Mushtaq, Daniela Ning, Abdiaziz Osman, Rushi Patel, Aaron Jessup Ryan Pierce, Andrew Jake Plapp, Thrisan Sarvesh Punithan, Jaskaran Singh Saluja, David Sam, Maria Teresa Santiano, Jacob Peter Schultz, Yashraj Sharma, Alexander William James Smith, Rikin Arvind Baisoni, Evelyn Vivian Sonza, Tianyi Sun, Franz Jordaniel Galvan Tamani, William Wayman Tat, T. Meng Tai, Samuel James Trollope, Adam Vernali, Thomas Grant Walters, Praveen Aditya Waragoda Kankalamalage Don, Lachlan Andrew Westlake. Adam Williams. Jessica Carmen Woods. Eric Zhang. For the Bachelor of Computer Science Games Development, Daniel Luke Sherman. For the Bachelor of Computer Science Professional, Shaksham Arora. Bradley Chick. Gareth Robertson Claassen. Timothy Kiesman. Jai Elliott Kojo Lafferty. Zay Ewan Isaac Lowe. Jeremy Victor Maxwell. Leo Erin Menzies Ye. Iviet David Trong. Will Young. Michael Zdradkovsky. For the Bachelor of Information and Communication Technology, Aryan. Anmoldeep Kaur. Gorish Agarwal. Ananya Bansal. Natasha Bigwither. Ti Toi Dung Boy. Bradley Burke. Joan Cardenas Munoz. Travis John Corcoran. Vaveen Philemon. Kalpa Gitanjana Heva Welalage. Uvini Sachintha Iluktana. Rifat Rezwan Jamie. Zoe Celeste Johnson. Muhammad Usman Kadiwala. Timothy Stephen Keeley. Dong Hang Liu. Foy Seng Un. Irusha Nirman Chandrasena Panagoda Lianage. Pandula Hashan Kapetipola Rantilakage. Hossein Sadegian. Sovandi Singh. Fazil Mohammed Shama Khan. Jobanpreet Singh. Jobanpreet Singh Tind. Owen Ronald Wells. Jin Hee Wang. Ruby Elizabeth Whitworth. Danushi Tarangi Vikramaratna Madanayaka. Jonathan Yaputra. For the Bachelor of Science, Mashari Altubaiti. Sharon Annabel Andaraj. Oliver Baker. Michael Allen Boshen. James Brooke. Holly Casey. Ivana Dripik. Liam Thomas Clear. Von Edward Diala Espada. Tristan Liam Faria. Krishan Randika Ariawansa Gangoda Willagay. Callan Joseph Gately. Joseph William Hunter. Henry Coe. Lucinda Caitlin Pollock. Caleb Philip Rao. Sajiv Mir Ruveni. Natalie Antoinette Rochetti. Faiso Syed. Daria Strojnova. Hamish John Turnbull. Wesley van Kempen. Robert Mark Watkins. Isuri Ruana Vijay Singh Liana Patirana Helage. James Zimkervich. For the Bachelor of Science Professional, Joel Tain Booker. Natalie Chiavera. Andrew Nicholas Ciccelli. For the Bachelor of Science Honours, Jacob Askew. Jessica Elizabeth Brown. For the Graduate Certificate of Cybersecurity Management, Paul William Shakespeare. For the Graduate Diploma of Environmental Health Practice, Tsi Ching Sharon Lee. Martha Liss. Parshuram Parajuli. Yusuf Rabi. For the Master of Construction and Infrastructure Management, Vraj Chetan Kumar Patel. Pavan Kumar Venigala. For the Master of Cybersecurity, Jamera Yasa Supaksala Yakuruda Yalanage Don. Sami Salem Al-Harbi. Cohen Fox. Seng Chiv Tang. For the Master of Cybersecurity Management, Joshua Benz Chen. David Spotto. For the Master of Data Science, Subra Mahanti. For the Master of Information Technology, Erianti. Sidesh Pravin Ahir. Nadia Farouk Alvi. Daniel Miguel Castillo. Dasit Tanuja de Silva. Jin Xia Feng. Tarni Kiran Kurma Gandhi. Tausif Ibnan. Nanapon Itrat. Tarun Priyatham Reddy Kovuri. Maria Yvette Regina Magalang. Siripont Mulanu. Sunwut Pechu. Ratna Polas. Adarsh Kumar Ravindranathan. Sadia Sharman. Deepak Tamatam. Ji Chen Wu. Andrew Chun Chung Yam. For the Master of Information Technology Professional Computing, Rupinder Kaur. Divya Nagarajan. Yazar Ewin. Anirudh Badri. Shivang Savjibai Bhajanaya. Kayur Himatbai Chantpara. Matthew Donny Chittisath. Vamsi Anurag Sandeep Dasari. Pawandami. Manohar Dudakula. Pravalika Gare. Abhishek Shushbai Gajar. Orga Samadhi Samara Singh Galagay Daragay. Namarata Gala. Tanvi Goyal. Sarah Grover. Lorenzo Hawage Sanjeewa Harendra Gunapala. Deval Jitendra Hansalia. Sharat Babu Holanarasipura Rama Bhagawan. Kasun Taraka Jayatunga. Naisimol Joseph. Rohit Karia. Shrith Kartikeyan. Kadua Haralalagay Upuli Karunaratne. Navdeep Kaur. Prajit Kumar Ashok Kotia. Harsh Prabhaka Mahendraka. Kalyana Sundaram Mangalam Ramesh. Rosemary George. Rajesh Roshan Mavuri. Fauzul Sahana Mohammed. Galib Mohammed. Balaji Raju Mohan. Rana Junaid Mokhtar. Daniel Chegi Murugi. Latika Mutukumaran. Akila Naka. Harsh Himatbai Nakrani. Mohammed Omer. Niraj Padigela. Ishan Arun Pant. Prachi Kunabai Patel. Divyesh Karshanbai Prajapati. Sai Sampath Manas Rajidi. Vijay Sunulbai Sahita. Umer Salim. Sai Sri Harsha Silam. Shruti Harshabai Shah. Mega Shah. Shivam Sharma. Raja Chanda Sekar Sama. Tsering Sherpa. Asta Mukesh Kumar Shukla. Gurjot Singh. Baljinder Singh. Gurjit Singh. Sona Sunny. Catherine Maria Suresh Manoharan. Manish Suraseti. Pradeep Thapa. Shabaz Uddin. Sitesh Pradeep Vadgawanka. Swapna Priya Valuri. Naziruddin Valutade Nuruddin. Pavindra Prashini Vetasinghe. Oshani Teranga Vikramasinghe Majinsalage. Suharsha Pradeep Vikramasinghe. For the Master of Science Astronomy, Bernard Francis Delacour. Daniel John McQueen. For the Master of Science Biotechnology, Simran Kaur. Renal Mayer Bavishi. Dumini Ganagoda. Tilini Opalashika Koralagagadara. Ovini Aparna Bandara Paharagagadara. Yaya Mawata Pea. Novera Kasim. Rad Shamat. For the Master of Science Network Systems, Anilchant Apasani. Christopher Luke Bologna. Mohammed Ansaf Chatanchal Abdul Razak. Dinesh Kumar Chikurumeli. Rashwan Dastagir. Chimi Dorji. Vijay Gunashekaran. Saikruti Gutula. Mustak Halder. Mirihangai Chandula Pasan Hemachandra. Hasip Ahmad Khan. Shivani Kulkarni. Raviteja Kundula. Saad Masood. Shoab Ali Navid Mir. Matthew Matthias Mond. Nazila Mutab Laleh. Ragul Prabhath Maipedu Prabhakar. Fatima Noria Nizvi Farin. Prabha Palanasame. Jane Christine Paul Christu Das. Pavitra Rajendiran. Shama Sheikh. Sarvesh Vijay Kumar Shimpi. Reshmi Rajendran Shivdas Kunjpila. Nitya Vangeti. And for the Graduate Diploma of Environmental Health Practice, Mehdi Abazzadeh.
Congratulations, everybody, again, and a round of applause for our wonderful name reader. Thank you very much. Chancellor, that concludes the awards for the School of Science, Computing and Engineering Technologies. I now call upon Professor Pascal Cuesta, Vice-Chancellor and President of Swinburne University of Technology, to present the University Medal Award.
The University Medal is a prestigious award recognizing the most outstanding students across all higher education levels at Swinburne University of Technology. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you the graduate awarded a University Medal for 2020 for the most outstanding postgraduate student in the School of Science, Computing and Engineering Technologies, Dacid Tanunja de Silva. Dacid graduates today with a Master of Information Technology.
I now call upon Professor Enzo Palumbo, Associate Dean of Research, to present the graduates from Swinburne Research.
Chancellor, graduates of higher degrees by research at Swinburne must demonstrate that their work meets the most rigorous standards. The outcome of their scholarship and research is examined by international experts to ensure it makes a significant and original contribution to their field at international standards. Many of our doctoral graduates have presented their work at international conferences and published international refereed journals. During their candidature, they've already been contributing to Swinburne's growing international research reputation, so as we congratulate them on receiving their award, we ask that they join the university staff on stage. While these achievements are indeed remarkable and worthy of celebration, it is worth taking a moment to reflect on what making original contributions to research and knowledge really means. To succeed in research, you need to have the courage to go into the unknown. Every thesis is a journey of risk-taking, resulting in mistakes, failures, and successes in equal measure, and without which progress is simply not possible. Our graduates leave Swinburne as world experts in their chosen field. They are armed with finely honed skills to be curious, to take risks, to disrupt convention, and to forge new paths. They also have the right expertise to make a real impact in our world. Swinburne is immensely proud that our research degree graduates will continue to make significant contributions to the advancement of knowledge, to solving the challenges confronting our world, and to enriching communities wherever they live and work. Today, we salute the courageous and wish you well in your future endeavours. Chancellor, I have the honour to present to you the graduates on whom a doctorate has been conferred. For thesis citations, please refer to the graduation ceremony program. Chancellor, I present to you Dr. Mahbooba Afrin for the Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Afrin's thesis title is Application-Driven Resource Allocation for Resilient Multi-Agent Cloud Robotic Systems. Chancellor, I present to you Dr. Rory Coulter for the Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Coulter's thesis title is Towards Developing Data-Driven Detection Methods for Advanced Persistent Threats in Multi-Domains. Chancellor, I present to you Dr. Farana Diba for the Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Diba's thesis title is Numerical Modelling of Different Solid Fuel Combustion and Gasification in Fluidised Bed under Air and Oxy-Fuel Conditions. Chancellor, I present to you Dr. Louise Ann Dunn for the Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Dunn's thesis title is Reconceptualising the Professional Practice of Environmental Health, a Framework for Improving Practice. Chancellor, I present to you Dr. Elmira Fadayeza for the Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Fadey Yazar's thesis title is Wave and Wind Turbulence in the Upper Ocean. Chancellor, I present to you Dr. Zainab Farah Manpur for the Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Farah Manpur's thesis title is Cognitive Surface Visualization, an automatic and adaptive method to virtualize software services. Chancellor, I present to you Dr. William Lloyd Hart for the Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Hart's thesis title is Optical and Electrical Co-Stimulation of Optogenetically Modified Neurons. Chancellor, I present to you Dr. Malagalagi Samira Hemanagi Jayaratna for the Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Jayaratna's thesis title is Understanding University Students' Journey Using Advanced Data Analytics. Chancellor, I present to you Dr. Lu Liu for the Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Liu's thesis title is Anomaly-Based Insider Threat Detection through Analysis of Multi-Source Security Logs. Chancellor, I present to you Dr. Hung Kwong Lu, the Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Lu's thesis title is Testing Predictive Software Systems and a Case Study of Oil Drilling. Chancellor, I present to you Dr. Yuan Tian Miao for the Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Miao's thesis title is Machine Learning-Based Cyber Attack Targeting on Controlled Information. Chancellor, I present to you Dr. Đuro Mirković for the Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Mirkovic's thesis title is Improved Internet Resource Allocation and Performance through the Use of Network Coordinate Systems. Chancellor, I present to you Dr. Maimouna Musarat for the Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Musarat's thesis title is Enablers and Barriers to the Adoption of Educational Technology by Academics. Chancellor, I present to you Dr. Kwok Kwong Ngong for the Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Nong's thesis title is Non-Invasive Detection of Hypoglycemic and Hyperglycemic Episodes in People with Diabetes using Electroencephalogram Signals. Chancellor, I present to you Dr. Syed Mohsen Samaei for the Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Samaei's thesis title is Developing a robust ceramic pressure-driven membrane-based system for the efficient removal of pollutants from mining wastewaters. Chancellor, I present to you Dr. Sunil Singh Samant for the Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Samant's thesis title is Autonomic Management of User-Centric Cloud Services for Smart Cities. Chancellor, I present to you Dr. Marianne Ellen Spears for the Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Spears' thesis title is The Development of Electrospun Conductive Polymer Nanofibers for Gas Sensing Applications. Chancellor, I present to you Dr. Somisena Yakupitiagi Anushka Santika Thenawara for the Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Thenawara's thesis title is Coherence of Multi-Component Bose-Einstein Condensates. Chancellor, I present to you Dr. Srikanth Thudumu for the Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Thudumu's thesis title is Anomaly Detection in High-Dimensional Big Data. Chancellor, I present to you Dr. Munib Ul Hassan for Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Ul Hassan's thesis title is Efficient Privacy Preservation in Smart Grid. Chancellor, I present to you Dr. Huihe Zhang for the Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Zhang's thesis title is Flash Reduction of Graphene Oxide for High-Performance Supercapacitors. Chancellor, that concludes the awards for Swinburne Research. I now call upon Mr. Dasith Tanuja de Silva, who graduated today with a Master of Information Technology, to speak on behalf of the graduates.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, members of the Council, Swinburne staff, fellow graduates and guests. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to speak on behalf of my fellow students. First off, I think we can all agree that these past 21 months have been quite extraordinary. The pandemic has profoundly impacted our lives in ways we couldn't imagine, be it for students, for staff, for family, or for friends. Things we took for granted, like seeing each other in person, shaking hands, or sharing a hug, were put on pause. But it also made us appreciate those things even more. For us students, our approach to learning had to change completely. We didn't have the same type of in-person instructions or the face-to-face time that we were used to. But in this regard, the Swinburne staff, both academic and non-academic, made a concerted effort to make our lives easier. We usually talk about the importance of problem solving, good communication, and adaptability in professional life, and how education should prepare you for it. I don't think this was ever truer than the last 21 months. The way we communicated changed drastically. From classroom interactions, we went to online interactions. We didn't get a chance to talk to our teachers face-to-face, but had to rely on a stable diet of email, LMS, and Microsoft Teams. Through all of this, the Swinburne staff guided us, finding new ways to engage with us and make our learning easier and better. All this despite facing similar difficulties because of this pandemic. We faced numerous challenges, but with the support of loving family and friends and the wonderful staff at Swinburne, we were able to overcome so much. Now, we hope that things will get better sooner rather than later. And to those who helped and guided us during this time, thank you.
Thank you, Daseth. Swinburne graduates, I know today is the culmination of many years of hard work, and that during that time you've had the encouragement of your family and your friends. On behalf of the university, I wish to thank your family and friends for supporting you during your studies at Swinburne and for being part of your journey while at Swinburne. Graduates, can I please ask you to stand, turn and face your family and friends and join me in a huge round of applause to thank all those that have helped you through this journey. That's wonderful. Can I ask you now to please be seated, and all those great hot coffee and tea through all time and manner of night. I think that it's important, as we reflect upon your journey to date, that we also consider this graduation as a step toward your path of lifelong learning, a point made by a couple of the speakers today. Education is a continuing process, and I invite you to continue your relationship with Swinburne to further your studies into the future. I also encourage you to stay connected with the Swinburne alumni. You are now lifelong members of the Swinburne alumni, a network of more than 220,000 globally. That network will give you access to a valuable community who share your connection with Swinburne, a powerful tool for building and developing your careers and for seizing lifelong opportunities. As well as events in Australia, Swinburne alumni has a growing number of networks in many other parts of the world. So even if you are leaving Melbourne, you can always stay connected to Swinburne and to take advantage of what it means to be a Swinburne graduate. And I know from my career, just one phone call to somebody new or somebody old once a month will build lifelong relationships. Graduates, on your behalf, I wish to take this opportunity to thank the academic and professional staff for their contribution to your education at Swinburne. So could I ask the staff to please rise? Graduates, would you join me in a huge round of applause to thank them for their efforts? Thank you. If you could be seated. And we appreciate just how hard these last couple of years will have been for you also. I now call upon Professor Pascal Cresta, Vice-Chancellor and President of Swinburne University of Technology, to deliver the charge to graduates.
Thank you, Chancellor. Before I read the charge to today's graduate, on behalf of the staff at Swinburne University of Technology, I too would like to congratulate all our graduating students in their achievements. As I look around the room, I know that I'm looking at the next generation of leaders, visionaries, challengers, and entrepreneurs who will shape the future in a variety of professions, many of which are not yet known. Swinburne has worked very closely with industry, with future employers, ensuring that your degree is relevant, future-proof, and that it equips you with the essential and practical skills that you need in order to kickstart your career. Whatever your calling, I am confident your Swinburne experience will help open many doors. You graduate today not just with deep knowledge of your disciplines, but with distinct attributes that will set you apart in your chosen field. Swinburne graduates are known for their energy, their curiosity, practicality, and adaptability. You can embrace change, and the events of the last 2 years certainly demonstrate that. You are able to think laterally and differently about the world. You graduate today, experienced with working with people and technology. You are ready to enter the world of work. I hope you also graduate from Swinburne today with a deep sense of pride. You have achieved so much during your time with us. And when tested, as you certainly were during the pandemic, you were not found wanting. You should be very proud of your Swinburne qualification that you will carry for the rest of your life and ready to put your resilience and adaptability to good use in the years to come. Swinburne is certainly very proud of you, and we look forward to continuing to be your education partner in the future, whenever you need to acquire new skills or to access new knowledge in your career to reach your next goal. Your success always is our success. And just as you step in a new chapter of your life, so too does Swinburne embark on a new chapter of its history. Swinburne has a clear and unambiguous plan, one that is so ambitious and bold that we had to describe it in terms of moonshots. Just like NASA and the US were determined to put a man on the moon in the 60s, we are committed to reaching our moonshots by 2025. Key to our different approach is first our commitment to work experience for every Swinburne learner, because we believe in learning by doing. We believe in mastery through practice. Second, our dedication to student employability so that every Swinburne graduate either gets or creates a job. Third is our belief in co-creation so that every Swinburne partner co-invests in our research and in return gets a tech solution complete with the human capital to make it work. And fourth, our inclination to innovate and to dare to be a different university that defines best practice for the very different future that awaits us. Many of you can actually help us achieve our moonshots. As a Swinburne alum, you now have a unique role to play in ensuring the future of Swinburne. That could be through connecting in with our work-integrated learning program by taking on professional placement or internship students, our Swinterns, as we like to call them. You know from personal experience the value of these opportunities. It also includes you being a real asset for your employer, a wonderful talent that they will recognize and value so that in the future they will always seek to take on more Swinburne graduates. Or it may be working with Swinburne on a technology solution for a problem that you or your workplace or indeed your industry is facing. Finally, as you leave Swinburne to take your own flight, we want you to feel that you can always come home to Swinburne at any point. We will always be here for you. And in fact, as I speak, we are reinventing the first floor of the Hawthorne Hotel as a Swinburne Alum Lounge. From April 22, it will be a place where you can return and meet your peers, mentor future students, and discuss all the ways you plan to create a better world. I look forward to your ongoing engagement with us and wish you the very best for your future. May I now ask all our graduates to please stand. In conferral of your award, I ask you as graduate of Swinburne University Technology to strive to practice the university's values of integrity, accountability, teamwork, innovation, sustainability, and respect for diversity. Seek positive and creative ways to engage with and serve your communities. Remain curious and open to new learning and new experiences always. And use your knowledge, talents, skill, and passion to encourage a better future for the global community. Congratulations once again. Please be seated.
This concludes the official part of the Swinburne graduation ceremony.